Good evening, everyone. How you doing? My name is Dashay Johnson. I am the leader of the Johnson Clan, aka the Wolf Pack.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tequila Johnson. I'm the mother of Aaron, Dontrell, and Caleb, born right here in the beautiful city of Miami, Florida.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, but I'm not trying to go that far back, sir. Okay. Life was good before I got married. Life got better after I got married.
I was the arts person. I was the writer, the singer, the dancer, the rapper. I always felt like I was supposed to walk the red carpet with Queen Latifah, because that was my thing. I was a big rap head, back in the 90s.
Came from heaven to live on earth. He was put in a womb who married birth. But man mistreat him, abused and beat him, spit in his face to show no honor to meet him. But through it all, he gave us life anyway, so we can live, and that's why we're free today. We need to take time to thank the Lord above. He died for you and you. That's called love.
I was really into entertainment very young, drama, plays, all the arts.
So my father, our father, he can sing. And that's where we get it from. My sister, Tequila, she would write songs. And it used to be her, myself, and my cousins would be under my grandmother's table. And she would make up songs and we'll just be singing them. So it just runs in the family.
Starting back when I first got married, and by the way, me and my husband have been married 27 years. I got married, I got engaged at 18, and we had a big wedding when I turned 19 years old.
Well, I had just married the most beautiful woman in the world, so let me start from the beginning. When we got married, the night that we got married, her grandmother, Mother Orr, she was sick. And prior to that morning of us getting married, they knew that she was going to transition. Her mom and her aunties went to the hospital to let the grandmother know that we got married. As soon as they let her know, that's when she passed away. But from that point on, me and my lovely wife, we just began that journey. We started on that journey called life.
And at that time, we was just like two kids, kind of like best friends growing up, just kind of enjoying, each other. And then after that, we had our first son, which was Dontrell. And when we had Dontrell, we started kind of, seeing what life in this adulthood was about. We bought our first house like at the age of 21 years old. And we was very like energetic, goal-oriented. So I would say from the beginning, we worked as a team, and we still do. So we pretty much built our relationship upon teamwork. And when we had our sons, it just spilled over into that.
Hey guys, I'm Dontrell Johnson. I also go by Devontae Skills. That is my artist name, so hi.
Hello everyone, my name is Aaron Avant Johnson. I am the middle son of the Johnson family. I'm a filmmaker, I'm a writer, and I work in the film industry.
I'm Caleb Johnson, the baby boy of the Johnson family. The best.
With me, I'm your all-around people person, jokative, funny, easy to get along with. My wife, not so much. She is a very serious person. So sometimes I have to be her sense of humor. And sometimes she has to be my seriousness, if that makes sense of what I'm saying.
Dontrell, he's more of a mix. He's the emotional, dramatic one out of the brothers.
Dontrell, he is the wild card of the family. But when it comes down to writing hit music, he'll sit down in a minute and write a hit in less than 5 minutes.
Aaron, he's just an old guy. That's really how you can explain Aaron.
Aaron is everybody's daddy. You know, he just think he's everybody's daddy. He think he's my dad. Even though I had him, he think he's my daddy.
My dad, he's like an older version of me. He's very funny, he play a lot.
Caleb is the blueprint of me, but let him tell it, he say he is the better perfected blueprint of me. I don't see how you can get more better than me, but he's going to college for sports physical therapy. So, you know, that's the makeup of the whole family.
Father God, we thank you as we assemble as a family, God, in this place that has been deemed sanctuary. Now, Father God, we pray now, Lord God, as we bombard your throne of grace with praise and worship, God.
Okay, what was life like for me when we first started ministry? It was a lot. We was young, taking on the responsibility of a group of people and their families, and always having to make sure that you put them first before you put yourself first.
Well, I first came in contact with the Johnsons a little over 17 years ago. A lot of us just calling and pulling on them with things that we might be having going on within our family. Whatever it is, they're there to counsel, and they never seem to be tired. And then to take on the task of managing their boys is a whole nother beast within itself.
They are amazing at what they do. The balance is immaculate. They are parents, they are counselors, they are entrepreneurs, managers as well, you know. They are producers, executive producers. Like, they take everything head on and they do it with ease. Behind the scenes, I would say some of the challenges that they had to face would be being talked about, ridiculed, having to show up for others when they couldn't show up for themselves.
I saw rejection, I saw different obstacles of humility, but they never stopped dreaming. They never stopped believing in their dream, and they just moved forward. But the obstacles, it really, to them, they showed no fear. They showed no obstacles in the midst of adversity.
I love to see how the Johnsons are able to work ministry and also work in the entertainment industry without compromising their faith or the love that they have for God.
I've been a part of the ministry for 5 years now. I'm currently a free agent athlete, and my experience here has been like no other, to be honest. Our leaders are totally different from any I've ever encountered. They're like real family. Whenever you're in need of anything, you can pick up the phone and call at any hour. They're just like a family member that you could call on.
So watching my parents juggle ministry, being parents and managers and still husband and wife, I don't know how in the world they do it, and I'm in it, and I don't know how they do it because it's a lot to juggle.
Having parents that had to split themselves in multiple ways and in different facets, that can be very complicating. A lot of things that a normal kid would do, I didn't get that opportunity to the most extent that most kids would. You know, sometimes we can go out to the movie theater as a family, and within the first 15 minutes of that, you're getting a phone call from a member who's in distress, and you gotta leave there and go sit in the car for 4 or 5 hours while your parents deal with stuff with them. So, to say the least, church at a young age irritated me in a bit, but as I got older and I came into the knowledge and understood the balance of trying to juggle all of that, I think with maturity, I understood what my parents were doing, and to this day, I get it.
When I was younger, I really didn't understand it because, you know, when you're young, you don't really know what's going on. But I see that it was a lot of work because they was always on the go, always talking to somebody, always trying to, you know, help as much as they can.
What a lot of people don't know is you share your parents with everybody. Meaning your time is technically their time too. It was challenging. Let's put it that way. It was challenging, but it was worth the challenge.
In ministry, here, you know, we're dealing with everything we're dealing with in entertainment. And then we have to deal with the stuff in ministry, you know, and sometimes that can be ugly. I'm just being honest. We had pastor friends that, you know, kind of cut us off because they felt like what we was doing with our sons was not of God or holy.
And Father God, we thank you now in your son Jesus' name. We speak Emmys out of this series, God. We speak, Lord God, right now, Emmys out of this series, God.
We had to go through that whole thing where people didn't understand that entertainment, film, music, God created all things.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi everybody, we're here in Chicago at the After Fall Mid Conference.
Good evening, well, good morning, everybody. As y'all can see, we out here in these Chicago streets.
You make me feel so nice.
Yeah, you my type, giving me that, make me wanna try, but I can't for a fight.
When did I see the first spark of the journey into entertainment? I would say when I tried to make Aaron and Dontrell play football. And I bought all the equipment and I took them to the park, and at that time they was real chubby, and the coach was like, yeah, we can definitely use them on the D-line. And they was just not athletic. And what really just sealed the deal, when the coach told the team to run around the field, the team ran around the field, but couldn't nobody find Aaron. And come to find out, he had then ran and sat down behind the goalpost. And the coach was like, Johnson, get off my field. He was like, yeah. So that's when I knew sports wasn't for them.
I initially seen it really at a young age, because like I said, it was almost like looking at yourself. When I was carrying them, when I was pregnant with all three of them, I sung all the time. You know, I was the praise scene leader, the choir director. But I can recall a service we was in, and it was a pastor, Bishop William Toney. And I remember Aaron was like 8 years old at that time. And he called Aaron in front of the church, and he singled me and my husband out, and he said, you know, don't invest in any toys for this young man. And he somewhat began to prophesy and tell us that Aaron is going to be this filmmaker and he's going to make movies. So he said, I know it's going to be costly, parents, but invest in cameras and computers and software and stuff like that. So we listened, because my family, we live by prayer. But he took a lot of pride in what he did. So that let me know right then and there that this was something that, you know, he was born to do.
We are on Rodeo Drive, Los Angeles.
Going to the big red carpet event now. I'm gonna try to do my best and try to sneak y'all in there, okay?
It's possible for me to accomplish my dream. It's possible for me to go after my vision. It's possible for me to go after my goals.
It's like they put your mind to it. And do it.
15-year-old award-winning filmmaker, author, entrepreneur, motivational speaker, and talk show host of A Few Moments with Aaron will be spending a few moments with youth in Wave Country this weekend. Johnson is a positive voice for youth by demonstrating you are never too young to follow your dreams.
So funny enough, at this particular point, while I was still in school, I started my production company at the age of 9 years old. So at 9 years old, I broke into editing. My mom, she was trying to figure out something on her laptop. It was an Acer laptop, and she was trying to put together a slideshow. And I was like, well, let me see if I can do it. Let me see if I can put something together. So I did, and I remember showing them the next day. I was like, y'all, look what I did. I done edit something. I was like, I don't know what this is, but whatever it is, I want to do it. I was, you know, the little short, stumpy kid with the camera going around filming everybody music videos, weddings and parties and events and commercials, and, you know, really honing in on my business at the time and trying to juggle that with school. It became very, very difficult. So at that particular point, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a decision to go and start my business and really run with my dream. And that's what I did. I, you know, made that transition to virtual school.
He had to make a hard decision most kids his age would not have did. He went from public school to homeschool. and he somewhat kind of gave up and sacrificed his school years to go through the homeschool program, because at that time he was traveling so much, and we had to make a decision because his attendance at school was becoming somewhat of a concern, because he was always either in LA, New York, Chicago, Atlanta. You know, he was always somewhere every other week.
For me, I think my love of music started during my middle school years. Before that, I've always danced in church or things like that, but I really dove into music when I got into Norland Middle School. That is where I joined the arts program, and I was in the magnet program. I did plays, I was in musical theater, and I learned to dance and sing, and I think from there it kind of just grew into something that I never knew that I loved, which I've always done it, but I gained a new appreciation for it. So I think my middle school years is very, very crucial to that for me.
I'm so lost in your love.
Started from. You have to give yourself enough room. If you're gonna go those levels dropping like that, you have to give yourself room.
As far as Devontae's skills, it was an honor to be considered as one of his vocal coaches from an early age, and to see his growth and his skills with writing now is just phenomenal. I mean, and he delivered on every single song.
Love, take me higher, baby, tonight with your touch. I'm a boss, boss, boss.
You hear that? Yeah. That's boss. All day. I don't know the sign, so I'm just gonna do that.
Doing work, getting ready for the concert. They changing the lights. As you can see, the venue is huge. It's ready. It's ready for Dontrell Experience to come hit the stage.
I decided that I wanted to be an artist when one day I just started writing, to be quite honest with you. I wasn't writing for no project. I didn't have a place to sing at or nothing like that. Just lyrics came to my mind one day, and I just started writing and writing and writing, and next thing you know, a couple lyrics turned into half of a chorus, and then half of a chorus turned into a whole song, and from there it just kind of grew.
You told me that you was at the mall with your girlfriends, chilling with your best friends, walking around talking to other men.
Okay, well, tonight is very special to me because we worked so hard on it. When I tell you, we're giving vocals, dance moves, we pulling out everything. This show is sick, and it was fun putting it together. So, for anyone that couldn't see it, I'm sad, but tonight's gonna be epic.
So I wrote my first book at the age of 12 years old. And I remember I was like, okay, I'm a young kid, still in school, but I want to inspire other kids to follow their dreams, for the ones that can start achieving it now, to go after it now. They don't gotta wait until they're older. Start now, why not? Life is our oyster.
What do I have to say about the book tour? We had press, from television to radio, you name it.
It was just a young man that had a dream, that had a vision, and that had a passion. So from starting at the age of 9, I said, okay, I don't care what I got to do. I'm going to make this dream happen.
Look, I think about life like this. Every day that I wake up, this is one day closer to my goal. Our dreams matter. Our lives matter. We dust ourselves off, we process, we learn, and then we move forward into success. We have to turn our pain into power and our power into persuasion. Thank you, Atlanta. I love you.
That book had got a lot of wind, and I'm very, very grateful for it. Had the opportunities to do some amazing things. We've traveled all over the world with that book, from LA, New York, Chicago, Kentucky, Atlanta, a little bit of everywhere. I'm doing a lot of different seminars and You know, spoke to over 100, you know, schools and youth juvenile centers, you know, doing a lot of community work, you know, with the youth, you know, and really making sure that they know that they are special and that they can achieve their goals and their dreams. So at that time, I was like, well, this is what I want to do. So from that one book, then it turned into another book when I was like 14, called Winning Mind Battles, that really tackled depression and, you know, young youth.
But the thing that came out of that was on our way coming home, we literally got a phone call from the organizers from the Diversity Conference, and we had a chance to speak with Mr. Patrick, where they wanted Aaron to be the third keynote speaker, and he replaced Bernie Sanders. And I was on the phone like, wait a minute, hold on, you mean Bernie Sanders, the one that's running for president right now? Like, how you go from a man running for president to the 15-year-old boy here in Miami? God, it's not that it's not impossible, but that just shows you where Aaron is headed, even from back then, where he was getting called to replace prominent people.
And I remember I was at work, and I don't answer phones on numbers that is not saved to my phone. And I remember they called my phone, and it was like the Holy Spirit say, answer the phone. And I never forget, they say, well, hi, you know, this is the McDonald's 365 Corporation. Is this Mrs. Johnson? I said, yes. And they say, well, we're happy to tell you that Aaron Johnson is our honoree.
Back in 2015, they called my mom first, and they told her, and I just remember me and my dad, we was walking, getting our little exercise in. When my dad got off the phone, I just saw him smiling from ear to ear. He said, well, guess who's gonna be honored on BET and da-da-da-da-da-da-da and gonna be in this magazine, whatever. I don't remember all he said. I just remember I took off. I think I left about a shoe, like maybe down the street.
I was at work and I almost lost it until everyone was like, are you okay, Ms. Johnson? So I had to actually go in the bathroom and bite on my hand and on my fist because it was just so much excitement.
In cooperation with our generous partners at the National Urban League and the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, we've identified 2 exceptional teenagers who've made a positive impact, awarding each of them with a $10,000 scholarship.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? We're getting ready to go into the 365 Black Awards. As you can see, we all are in the vehicles. Got Mr. Aaron Johnson in the back, and we're getting ready to go in. But once again, Aaron Johnson will be receiving his 365 Black Award on today. All right, God bless y'all, and see you in a few minutes.
And it was just a beautiful experience. And I remember sitting in the auditorium, and I'm always like on work mode. I didn't even realize I was sitting next to Wendy Raquel and Shanice and Flex and then Lunel. She was, honestly, I couldn't see any other celebrities at that time because all I saw was, this my baby. This is the celebrity that's coming. I zoned everybody out.
The Lord works in mysterious ways. I want to thank God for every gift, talent, and ability. Without him, I would not be here today. I want to thank McDonald's for this amazing award and honor. I am telling y'all, I'm so thankful to be here. I am so thankful that my parents and my 2 brothers are a strong support system in my life. And to all of my family and friends, thank you and I love you.
Because at this point, being 14 and being honored alongside like Ava DuVernay, Marvin Sapp, and, you know, doing all, like, it was just mind-blowing to me.
And when he came out and he did his speech, the key to success.
The key to success is multiple attempts of failure. When we fail, we get up, dust ourselves off, process, learn, and then move forward into success.
We rehearsed that speech so many times, and he did such an amazing job.
To know that that was the time that Aaron was getting recognized for the hard work that he had put in ever since 9 years old.
Listen, as a mother, I was just so proud because to see him work so hard, you know, and to be honored.
And from there, that led us to go into him winning different films, him being honored, alongside of Bishop T.D. Jakes, Harry Belafonte, Ava DuVernay.
So, you know, at that particular time, I would say that was the start, the turn of my career. That's when I really started to see that snowball effect.
And then, oh, let me tell you, Caleb is such a special individual. He's a special human being. Caleb is the youngest, and to see both of his brothers at that time going forth with music and one with film, Caleb never complained.
Caleb honestly is like the guy I want to be. He's just like the smooth cat, like that smooth guy that just, you know, very pretty boy when he get his hair done. He's very like, hey, take a million pictures of me. He's that type of guy, you know, but he's real chill and very helpful.
Those that's been on set, you know, making movies and projects, that's a whole lot of time that you put into these projects. And sometimes, you know, we, you know, found ourselves kind of shifting more towards what Aaron and Dontrell was doing because he was the youngest, and then we'll go back and make sure we did something family oriented to make sure he was not being left out. As he began to grow a little older, he took a likings for fashion.
Like I told y'all, the blueprint, the better version of me, as he liked to call himself. He does fashion. He has a fashion line, K. John's House of Swag.
So we made sure that we helped him launch his fashion line, K. John's House of Swag. He had a fashion show.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the designer. Everybody please make some noise.
Some of his clothing apparel is actually in the Predestined film, the movie.
Now, his fashion line can overlap into Dontrell's music, with Dontrell wearing his apparel, but also his apparel overlapping over into Aaron's projects, where some of the actors can wear K. John's House of Swag.
K. John is based off a real event, Black Wall Street. K. John is based off of history, so when people shop and buy, they will learn more about history as they're going into it.
One thing I would say, there's no competition or jealousy or strife amongst none of my sons. They're all supportive to one another.
Hey everybody, as you can see, we own the golf carts coming through the lovely Dominican Republic, Puerto Plata. Oh, we done stopped. We at a villa now. Dontrell music in the back.
Cascading down. That is ridiculous.
Look at this gorgeous view.
Look at the house all the way on top.
Please make some noise for Dontrell.
Getting ready for the performance, it was a little hectic. I'm not gonna lie, when we first got there, it was kind of ghetto because we got there like late at night, and then the ride to where we was going, it was like real Final Destination.
I never know that it could be dirt roads that small and hug the side of the mountain.
We was riding on the edge of a mountain with no railings, and this man is in Fast and Furious 9. He is bending them corners, and we were seconds away from falling off a cliff and rolling down the mountain. And
the dude was just flying in the, and I'm sitting there looking like, I'm looking at the top of houses over here. And I'm looking at rocks falling off on the side, and they driving like it's normal. So, you know, that was normal to them.
You know, I do believe when you're gonna do an amazing job, I do believe that it gets hectic sometimes before.
But when we got to the event, as usual, Dontrell shut it down.
Big Tigger brought them out with a big bang, and they finished it off with an even bigger bang. See you next time in another country near you.
Comes to music and writing, it's like I'm looking at myself. And my sister used to tell me all the time, because when I was young, I would write songs. I started writing like maybe at 6 or 7, 8 years old. And I would write songs and create groups, and then to see my son, you know, write hits, and I'm not saying it just to say it. He actually writes hits.
I'm feeling famous, feeling like another name, and only fooling with the big dogs. I'm feeling famous with the ice on my chain and with the lights on me. I'm feeling famous. Check out the beat where we step in the scene. Truly too blessed to be hot to be seen. Whipping so high, yeah, you know to be clean. Money so long, you need glasses to see. Not huh? Let's talk about it. Spending foreign checks by the Maserati.
Two better days. Two better days. I'm down and out. Looked out. Better days. He's always on my side. Always on my side. I call him all the time. He's forever. He's on my mind.
Think about it. I say, well, you know what? Music is in their family. On my husband's side, Stokely is his cousin. On my side, you know, my dad was heavy into music. When he goes in the studio and you see him take control of the engineer, take control of the whole ambience, making sure that the song is delivered, because we're perfectionists, you guys.
I want you to really put yourself in Talia's shoes. This is the first song of the season. And, you know, basically, we're opening up to seeing Talia at her fullest right now. You know, she's a signed artist. This song is going to be a major performance in the show. That last one, don't worry about it. Just do it on Bad For You, Good To You, Bad For You.
Okay.
And then I go to the first verse.
Yeah, try not to do the little swoop, but just...
Okay.
No, best done. I believe when I conceive the plan for me, God knows my destiny, what He has for me.
When it comes to our sets, AAJP Films or Dontrell Skills Entertainment, we don't halfway bootleg no stuff. We either gonna do it or we're not gonna do it at all.
Filmmakers, writers, producers, and I want to introduce you to a 17-year-old who's certainly headed for Hollywood.
So with Lost, Lost started off as a short film. When I was 13, that's when I won my first, little accolade for it. And then I was like, okay, it's time for me to do a feature. I was 16 at this point. I said, okay, I want to do a feature. I said, we've done short films, did the plays.
Won't let you die. You're the reason I cry every night. A part of me's empty, 'cause something is missing.
I haven't done a full movie yet. So I was like, well, what story honestly is meaningful to me? And I remember that particular short film and the story behind it, which really tackled, about homelessness and about loss and just experience a lot of loss in life and how that can affect our future and our being and our spirit and our soul.
Sometimes in life, the pain can get so heavy. That it can make us forget who we are.
Shut up, man! Your mother and your brother are dead.
This is only the beginning of my story.
Because of you.
It's writer, producer, director, 17-year-old Aaron Johnson of Miami found his passion for writing at a young age. This is his feature film debut.
If we're honest, sometimes, people, we are quick to judge, but we really don't know what landed him in that spot.
No doubt Aaron Johnson is where he's supposed to be. Also an author of 2 books, he's been nationally recognized for his work. The veteran actors he directed agree.
Aaron is an awesome, phenomenal young leader.
Yes.
He is, for the youth.
He hopes to inspire other young writers to tell their stories.
Now more than ever, the world is waiting on original content.
It was honestly one of those things where I legit shut the door closed and I barricaded myself in a room playing nothing but depressing music. I know my family hated that because they would walk down the hall and say, would you turn this off? Because it was some sad songs. It's some songs that make you want to slit your wrist. But it helped me, because that was just my process. I need to be in this dark place because I got to deliver this story.
What was it like
when Lost went to London, initially when I first got the call from the Johnsons and said, you know, hey, big brother, Uncle Marty, hey, we got been nominated to the London Film Festival. We're going to London. Immediately I grabbed the Louis and start putting some pieces in there. Said, when are we leaving? What time?
I was there with my family. It was like 32 of us.
To go over there and for him to be recognized. And when we went over there, it wasn't just like 5 people. It was like, he had a whole entourage. It had to be like, more than 30, 40 people that traveled over there.
So around that gap, that's when I really started to develop, that gift for writing. Then I led over into me wanting to write films. So funny enough about Lost, Lost was actually a short film that
It's my first time being in a room with different nationalities, and I saw people from Turkey and China and Japan, and when they called Lost,
it was just so rewarding and refreshing to see that this movie that had so reality to it. It just wasn't a movie, but it had the reality of it. And just to go to London, England, and to be nominated. But the phenomenal part is when the movie Lost won.
So he won 2 awards at the London Filmmakers Festival for Best New Filmmaker, and his leading actress won for Best Leading Actress. But his parents are a big part of why he's a success today. They supported his dream from a very young age. So very exciting for that young man.
And I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. I just became so proud as a mother. And to see him represent the United States as a child and to win that film festival I just can't explain it.
I tell you, when the dry in the room, it was no feet that was set still. Feet were shuffling, shoulders were shimmering. We were all so excited.
And it was amazing. So he had full support, and it was just a great time, a great experience. I'll never forget it.
So I remember during the Lost film premiere, it was a lot of planning, y'all. It was a big premiere. We had like 800 people come out that night for the Lost film. It was a lot of people. We was planning it big. So I remember we was doing the day of press.
That gentleman next to you was on my show 4 years ago. And what happened 4 years ago, Aaron?
We was promoting my first book.
Your first book?
You Are Never Too Young. At the time, and we had an amazing interview. You was my very first television interview, so it was meaningful. Yes, ma'am.
And if memory serves me right, I believe that I said, Aaron, as you go on to do amazing things, please come back and tell us about it. Sir, you have done that. Not only come back, but done amazing things. Congratulations on your film, Lost.
So I remember we got to the mayor's office, and I kept saying, why are we at the mayor's office? Like, nobody told me we was going to the mayor's office. Like, what type of press are we doing here? The whole time the mayor's like, I want to see the trailer. So we sitting there watching, some of Lost. So I just remember some people came in, and I guess, city's press came in, and they started snapping pictures. And I'm sitting there like a deer caught in headlights, because I'm like, well, what's happening? Ain't nobody tell me nothing. And then next thing you know, they pull out a proclamation that March 9th is Aaron Avant Johnson Day in the city of Miami.
Proclaiming on yesterday, Friday, the 9th day of March, in the year of our Lord 2018, Aaron Johnson Day in the city of Miami.
Round of applause. Not for me, not for these amazing cast, but for my parents. Yes!
And I mean, we're at a place now it's just kind of getting frustrated because we had some momentum going before COVID, but the momentum that we had, it just kind of fell through. We had a lot of possibilities. We had a deal on the table, and now it's like we're at ground one.
I don't know, to be honest, Uncle Marty. It's just been an up and down roller coaster, to be honest.
And I'm telling Aaron, like, I'm becoming frustrated now.
Well, Tequila, COVID hit, but the beautiful thing about this is that you produced a movie in the midst of COVID. When stuff is on the table and disappointment comes, always remember is that your dream and your vision is in you.
Mm-hmm.
You employ it, you carry it. And so I just say keep building, keep going forward. Because frustration, that's a part of success. It's lonely at the top, but it's crowded at the bottom, but you got to keep grinding.
The ups and downs, and I'm gonna try and say this and not get emotional. What I would like to say, this is the ugly part of the industry people don't see. A lot of times you see the lights glam, you see the camera, you see the production put together, but you don't see the behind the scenes. And I can remember my first time we made an investment into Dontrell's project. And I remember over the course of the months, it came up to like $20,000. And the way me and my husband is, we're the type of parents, it's either all or nothing. And I remember Dontrell, he was starting a new project, and we met this person, and it was like over the course of the months, when I realized, I say, okay, we at like $20,000, and we haven't even touched the surface of this project. Long story short, all of it was fraud. And I remember I was so sick for like 2 months. I mean, literally vomiting. So that thing, it hurted me so bad. And we experienced that so many times, you know, in the industry, with people claiming that they can do certain things and they didn't do it, or they took our monies, disappeared. It was just so much of stuff. We have sacrificed. We did whatever it needed to be done, you know, to make sure that they deliver, or they had an opportunity to reach their goals and dreams.
As you build a company, you never stop sacrificing until you get to a certain level where you want to be at. And then even at that level, you want to go to the next level, and that's sacrifice to get to that level.
What I can say is that they're resilient, because unfortunately, a lot of people don't want to see you win, right? A lot of people will smile with you and say, I'm with you, but as soon as they're not with you or behind you, you know? So I've seen them, it's like they're so good to people. They will give their shirts to people, be so good to people, and people turn around and they just don't reciprocate it. They don't give them back the love that they showed them. And they know it, and they still do good by people.
And we had to learn something. We had to learn some wisdom to not be so quick to invest in the first person that say they can do something.
When you're on the outside looking in and you're dealing with entertainment, you think that everything is one way, right? You think that everybody in entertainment is rich right off the bat. And when you get your feet into this, you learn that that's not the case always, right? But to watch the strength and the unity that this family have with being in this industry, and not just only in this industry, because they're in ministry, they're in the industry as a whole, and they have their personal life, and they are consistent. I've never seen them waver. You know, they are who they are. What you see is what you get, and I love it. It's good when you can be in contact with organic people. You know, they're not fronting for the camera. They're not fronting for this person or fronting for that person. They're consistent.
I watched challenges after challenges. Somehow or another, the Johnsons always figure out how to make things work. The Johnsons always land on their feet.
My favorite story that I like to say all the time is Henry Ford. Henry Ford went bankrupt 5 times trying to get an A model car crunk, just the crank. He was trying to get it crunk. He went bankrupt 5 times, but let me show you something about the perseverance in that. He went bankrupt 5 times trying to get a car started, but the parts that he was using, that he would throw to the side, is the reason why we have Kingsford Charcoal right now. So he was trying to build one company and didn't even know he was building a whole nother company. So, you know, that's all within sacrifice.
If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. And if it's gonna happen for you, it's gonna happen for you. You just stay the course and you keep moving. And that has honestly been our story. You know, we've stayed the course, we kept moving. We jumped over every tragedy, obstacle, you know, that you can think of, because it's not easy. But one thing about it, you know, when you make it to the other side, you see the light.
What the world needs to know about the Johnsons, that they don't change, but they can change the environment and the setting that they're in. It's kind of like when they walk in the room, they're head turners, because they walk in such power, such authority, such confidence. There are confident people in this world that are not arrogant.
What do the Johnson means to me? Y'all don't make me cry, because this girl had to did the makeup, and I don't want the lashes to fall all off, because the Johnson is just not, it's not just business with my relationship with the Johnson. Like, they are my family. For you see, they move, I move, just like that.
The Johnsons are family. How can you not think of the Johnsons and just get that warm, fuzzy feeling that you feel around the holidays every single time that you think of them? They're genuine, they're real. I mean, there's none like the Johnsons. So I'm an honorary Johnson. I just want y'all to know, you know.
They're good people. Like I said prior, they will give you what they don't have. I've seen them do it.
And they're always pulling the good out of you. They overlook the bad and see the good. And they will give you an opportunity to dream. They're dreamers. They're visionaries.
It's amazing to see how excellent they are, and the qualities that they have, and the way that they're able to pivot in business, in life, and in the entertainment industry. So the world should see an example of Black excellence, and that is what I would like the world to know about the Johnsons.
I think that to tell the world about the Johnsons would be to tell them that they are a real family. And every family faces challenges, but with those challenges, they come out triumphant.
Something that the world should know about the Johnsons that they don't know already, watch out. Stay on the lookout for the Johnsons as a whole, because they're going to take this industry by storm. They're like beyond the triple threat. It's 5 of them, and they're beyond the triple threat. They're very loving, they're very tolerant, they're very prayerful people, and their prayers get answered. So that's all you need to know.
When he's been doing since he was 9 years old. When you gotta be powerful when the political conditions are happening, and Bernie Sanders was running for president and could not make it, and they called Aaron Johnson to stand in the place of Bernie Sanders and give an address.
So everybody here, leave here today knowing that your purpose never dies. Your purpose has never died. I don't care what it is, even if it hasn't came yet. Yo, that don't mean that it's been denied. All right, I love you all, and I do want to say that I would not be here without these 2 beautiful angels. Yeah. I'm gonna be so honest, this is their award, because listen, I would not be here without them at all.
I went all the way back to Aaron's first day to this point. It's just amazing.
How we feel? Excellent.
Yes. Happy. Yes. Joy. Just take my breath away.
Oh, yes. She need a breath right there.
Hello everybody, and listen, welcome to Lights Camera Connection. Lights Camera Connection is a space where we honor entertainers who work and their craft has helped shape this industry.
So Lights Camera Connection is about showing everybody, whatever their contributions are, that they are valuable to the industry.
So when I see Aaron, I see me. And to me, this is the biggest award that I've ever received in my life.
Celebrate that person.
go here. So I've had my nose to the stone this whole time, and I didn't realize 20 years went by until you.
We just finished watching Embracing the Dream by Aaron Avon Johnson. Absolutely inspirational. It's for everybody, for the young kids, for the older people.
I loved it. It was such an inspiration. So I have met them and I love them, and that film allowed me to see a part of them that I love even more.
So the unity that you all have, and by Dad sticking there to be the head and being the example of this is how it's supposed to be done, is so beautiful. And at this day and time, sometimes it almost seems unreal.
Because if these were my boys, I do news stories every day of young black men laying on the ground. I'm so proud of these young men.